Hey, everybody. We are going live for Poduty News, October 25th, 2025. I've got Kyle Asperger joining me. I'm backstage getting ready to take the stage, just trying something new, trying different intros every weekend. First time ever on the show. Kyle, welcome.
Jeff, thank you for having me, man. What a pleasure to be here at shiny 8 a.m. here in Denver, Colorado.
Well, that's why we pair this show with coffee. So you want to have some coffee when you're at least listening to me read. You probably want to, you'll keep you awake a little bit, keep you entertained. And Kyle, I'm going to go ahead and walk over to the stage. Why don't you tell the guests that are joining us now a little bit about yourself and how they can connect with you?
Happy to essentially distract from what's going on behind the scenes. So again, my name is Kyle Asperger, based out of Denver, Colorado. I'm a marketing coach, actor, voice artist, and founder of Anarchy for a Day. Anarchy is a very simple concept. It is not simply just destroy everything and complete and utter chaos. To me, anarchy is a tool to inspire innovation. So I don't want to drown on too terribly much about that, but really marketing, coaching, and building an acting career. That's the focus these days.
And I'm back. There I go. I made it all the way to the stage, but I forgot to switch the video, so I had to run back. Thank you, Kyle, for stalling for me there. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Oh, you said it's 8 a.m. there. Are you?
It is 8 a.m. Mountain Time.
What part of the mountains are you from?
Well, I'm originally from the Great Chicago Mountains.
The Windy Mountains.
Not originally from here. Denver is, I've only been out here for about 4.5 years. I was in Columbus, Ohio prior to Denver for about 7. That's really where I started my entrepreneurial, path, and originally from Chicago. And it turns out in Denver, there are a lot of individuals, not only from Chicago, but who have gone Chicago, Columbus, Denver.
A little zigzag across the country.
Yeah, Midwesterners love it out here.
I do like Columbus. I think Columbus is underrated. They have 2 things that I love. They have a hotel that every shower has a beer fridge in it. And they also have a deli called Katzinger's Deli out there in Columbus, which is
they do.
They amazing pastrami and corned beef.
If somebody talks about me like that someday, I would be very fulfilled.
I want somebody to love me the way Jeff loves a pastrami sandwich.
Yes. Specifically out of Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Columbus is weird in its layout that it's like 1 5-mile long main drag, like main strip of like businesses. It just goes on forever.
You hit OSU, you go pretty much beyond that campus. That's the end of Ohio, essentially.
Yeah. It just ends.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you ready to get into the show?
Let's do it, brother.
All right. We've got 6 stories for everybody coming their way tonight. I didn't really proof these, but let's go through. I'm going to make up a fake intro on the fly.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. We'll start the show. Let me find the song. We'll play the song next.
Oh, I forgot about the song in sight.
I know you're hearing it for the first time.
Yeah. Did you make this or did somebody else make this? How do you do this?
This is with the use of AI. Okay. So I do some research. I go through about 1,000 stories a week. Then I summarize them, and then I take the summaries to write song lyrics, and the song lyrics then become what you're about to hear.
Oh boy.
It's like I've been sticking with this 80s dance club music. So nice. I'm doing covers of the same song, but so now the chorus is the same. And when that beat drops when it asks you what time is it, it's time for Poduty in the News. You'll be out of your seat.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go, everybody. Hey, everybody, welcome to Poduty in the News for Saturday, October 25th. I've got a great guest joining me, Kyle Asperger, Anarchy for a Day. We're talking MRO Podcast, The Orange Zone, Women, Crime, Redemption, and 2 Jagoffs.
A toast to the thinkers, the dreamers, the pros, the stories we share, the world that grows. From London to New York, the voices collide. Ideas are the fuel and truth's our guide.
Jeff drops questions, Kyle brings flair. Two storytellers with no time to spare. The laughter's real, the insight's deep. These moments are ours to keep.
What time is it? What time is it?
What time is it? It's time for
Poduty and the news. Poduty and the news. The only live news podcast about podcasting from the stage.
The only live news podcast about podcasting from the stage. Oh, we lost Kyle for a second.
Oh, there we go. Here we go.
And he's back. Kyle, welcome back.
Pleasure to be here yet again.
I'm trying to do too many switches. Also, I forgot my clicker for the slides over in the control room. So during that song, I had to run back to the control room to get the clicker.
You're getting your cardio in this morning, man.
I am finally. 50 years. I finally got the heart rate above 130. It's pretty good. Kyle,
Wow,
welcome to the show.
what an intro.
You're 2 hours behind us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your agency, and I know I want to get into some of those gymnastics.
Oh, gosh. Well, good morning, Jeff. Thank you for having me. Kyle Asperger coming in from Denver, Colorado. So entrepreneurial endeavors these days. I'm a marketing coach, actor, and voice artist. So Anarchy for a Day, as Jeff just mentioned, that is the marketing coaching practice. Anarchy for me, it isn't the, destroy everything, complete and utter chaos. Anarchy in my vernacular, it is a tool when applied with a bit of tact is meant to inspire innovation so that we can differentiate ourselves from the rest. So without, fire it on back to you, Jeff.
Awesome. A lot of times, I grew up 20 years in skateboarding, and I had a skate shop, a skate park, and like this punk rock. And I know it's a little bit different than we're talking about, but the skateboarding mentality. If you ever talk to somebody who skateboarded as a kid, the way that you perceive the world, the way that you see things, is just slightly different than everybody else, and that's very freeing. And some of the mentality things that you're talking about, the way to kind of free yourself with don't get locked down in this rules and the structure. There's ways to improve yourself, thinking outside the box, seeing things differently. And I really like that part of the message.
Well, thank you. I agree. The basis is, okay, let's understand the rules initially. And only then can we objectively look at whatever the idea is. And whether this is business or a life philosophy, only then when we see this idea objectively, then we can bring a bit of anarchy in and kind of figure out, okay, well, which of these rules can we maybe kind of fudge or break a little bit? Like, that's where the innovation can happen, because I can almost guarantee that no innovation has ever happened by doing what everybody else has done historically.
Yeah, we were talking backstage before the show. I'm in my full-time job, a marketing director for 15 years, and it would be easy to just do what everybody does. I could have, just rode the coattails of my predecessor. I could have just followed the status quo. But by looking at the data, by pushing boundaries, by seeing what's possible, I was able to build something. I grew from myself to a team of 10, and it's that mindset and that mentality that can really propel you, especially I think in this corporate culture where people are quick to lay off. You can find your superpower by not necessarily not following the rules, but expanding them a little bit, stretching them a little bit.
Absolutely. Could not have said it better than myself.
Well, would you like to hear what I'm going to say next? Because we're going to go into our stories. There's my segue.
Let's do it.
We're talking women, crime, and redemption live from FDU at Farley Dickinson University. True crime took the stage as criminologist and podcast hosts Megan Sachs and Amy Schlossberg recorded a live episode of Women in Crime titled Women in Prison Voices from Edna Mahan. The event, free and open to the public, featured women formerly incarcerated at New Jersey's embattled Edna Mahan Correctional Facility, offering firsthand stories of survival and reform. Known for blending psychological law and empathy, the professors, regulars on 2020 and Good Morning America, used the live format to shine a spotlight on injustice while humanizing those behind the headlines. It was an evening where data met compassion and real voices reclaimed their stories. And here's we've always talked about legacy media. This seems to pop up a lot, but here's two people who have been part of legacy media. They saw what they were building there, and they started to build their own thing. They came up with their own show around a topic that they both love. They love, crime and injustice, and they brought a community together, just to have the shared moment. Because I know I live in a house. I have three women in my house, my wife and two daughters, and crime and justice are like number two, like topics that they love to talk and discuss about. So this event would be a perfect event for them if we were in this area to go connect with like-minded people, learn about these stories, and kind of share that common connection. And a podcast like this is a great way to bring people together.
People love crime and injustice, whether committing, solving, I'm not here to remark on what, but yeah, it's a big thing these days.
Yeah, and the ability to have like a free event to the public. I didn't say if it was at a library, because we've been having a lot of events at local libraries, and it's just a way to bring the public into a place. Like we talk about the struggle of libraries in this day and age where people are addicted to their cell phones and streaming media. Libraries would love to have shows like this come into their location and really just bring the community together, bring people in through the door, use these public facilities. And this was a great event at Farley Dickinson. And congratulations, Megan and Amy, for putting on this great event. Let's go to our second story. Two jagoffs. That's a Pittsburgh slang for you, Kyle. A lot of Pittsburghers are known as jagoffs or yinzers.
Oh, I grew up with a neighbor who maybe he was from that general part of town, but I actually ended up working in his warehouse, and he's like, how you doing? Okay. There's a lot of jagoffs over there. You just got to watch out for yourself. So I got you.
That's why we don't need real ID from Pennsylvania, because if you hear us say jagoff or yins, they automatically verify us as U.S. citizens.
Yep.
You probably live next to a jagoff or a Pittsburgher who was also a jagoff.
He probably would have said that, but no, he's easily one of the best guys I know.
Well, this one comes to us from my alma mater, Point Park University. And this is during the Day of Giving. And it's not every day that a podcast helps raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that's exactly what's happening in Pittsburgh this week. The Two Jagoffs podcast is going live at Point Park University as part of their Day of Giving celebration. The event kicks off with happy hour at 4 p.m., featuring drinks, appetizers, and giveaways, because nothing fuels generosity like a good charcuterie board. Then at 5 p.m., host Austin Carnes and crew will take over the mic for a 2-hour live podcast, joined by Pittsburgh community leaders and alumni. The goal? To raise $350,000 for student programs and scholarships, proving once again that when Pittsburghers get together, even podcasts can make a powerful impact.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Here's a way for a podcaster to not only have an event, because a lot of times what we talk about here in our theater space is bringing people together. And this is bringing people together for a common good. We're bringing them together so that they can raise money. I believe this goes to the Day of Giving supports student programs. So you can help scholarships, you can help activities, you can help things in and around on campus at the Pittsburgh, at Point Park in Pittsburgh here. It's where I went to school, got my bachelor's. And I got a special treat for you guys. Future Jeff is going to interview Austin. And and get a firsthand account of what this event is about. Kyle, let's flip over to that future interview from Austin.
Sure.
All right, Kyle, we're back from that interview with Austin. Pretty amazing stuff. That's a big goal. I think they can get there.
I gotta say, it sounds like he has a great lineage. His grandfather, especially, that story he told about his time in a King Soopers, boy, that was impressive.
Yeah, I was surprised we could edit that down to just a few minutes, and we're back already.
Yeah. No, very impactful.
Very impactful. Well, check it out. It's this week. It's free for tickets, but you do have to register. Go over to the Point Park website, click on events. You'll be able to get your free tickets to go see 2 Jagoffs. Let's go to story number 3. We're flying high now, Kyle. Not the mile high, or Denver. Denver's also a mile high.
And a lot of us are very high. Me, not so much.
The MRO podcast takes off live from London. This comes to us from the MRO podcast on YouTube and at MRO Europe in London. The skies weren't the only thing buzzing. Aviation Week's team took the MRO podcast live on stage to tackle the biggest issues shaping the future of flight. Before a crowd of aviation pros, the host dove into topics like European fleet expansion, supply chain bottlenecks, and the rise of AI, and even how Gen Z is reshaping the hangar. With industry experts weighing in on everything from contracts to global politics, this live recording proved that the maintenance, repair, and overhaul world is more dynamic and more human than ever. And we've seen a string of stories like this, Kyle, where these are conferences, and these conferences always are focused around a single topic. This one was aviation. And conferences where historically they would look for things to entertain the guests while they were there, while they were attending the conference. They would bring in bands and comedians and music acts. But more and more, what we're seeing is these conferences are bringing podcasters to the stage to record a live show. And then what do you think they're doing with that? They're going to record it, talk about the conference, and then release it to their audience. So the audience who's in attendance is getting entertained by listening to a podcast in their industry. Then that same podcast is going to release the MP3 file to their download audience, and that conference is going to get more promotion. I think a strategy like this is pretty win-win for everybody.
It is a spectacular approach. Plus, I mean, like, podcasting is just, I would venture to say it's one of the ways of the world these days, because, you know, advertising, like back in my dad's age, the stuff that initially got me into it was the campaign. You know, it was just, all right, this is what our team came up with. This is, you know, the billboard or the quippy ad that you saw in the paper, whatever it may be, that is gone through iteration after iteration and approval processes. These days, candor comes in the form of conversation, and conversation is really, like, that's how people build trust in whatever their industry is. You know, because I think people trust marketers less and less. And I don't mean this as a, you know, personal jab, understanding that both you and I, Jeff, are in marketing. It's just, how is it that we navigate these waters? By being genuine, authentic, and factually accurate.
Yeah, that's the only thing people trust. Like, as soon as your cover is blown, as soon as people figure out you were trying to deceive them,
yeah,
they don't want to be a part of that anymore. You get stiff-armed into the corner with Baby from Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. Well, and we
all comment just got a heart online too. Look at that. Nobody puts Baby in the corner, but they do go in Syracuse. They put Game On. The Orange Zone looks like they're in the corner at Destiny USA. This one comes to us from CNY Central. It was all orange energy at the Apex Entertainment Industry Destiny USA, where the Orange Zone podcast went live to break down Syracuse's football's upcoming showdown with Pittsburgh. Broadcasting in front of a lively crowd of fans and families, the crew tackled everything from offensive strategy to the pulse of the fan base, mixing in analysis, banter, and hometown pride. With the smell of popcorn in the air and the roar of Orange Nation in the background, this live taping felt less like a podcast and more like a pep rally, proving that Syracuse, the football talk is always better when it's live. And I'll let you start with this one, Kyle. Here's a show that went out to, it looks like, I think this might be a casino. And sports betting is a kind of a big deal in sports right now. So what do you think they're doing? What kind of strategy is this for a podcast to go live?
Well, okay. So given that I'm a gymnast, I'm going to have to really pull into my acting ability here and say, Jeff, it is a touchdown strategy. And they are calling on the whole team to put the ball in the end zone.
In the court. I thought you could say ball in the court. This football podcast was a real home run.
Yes. They sportsed well.
And so here, this is local to them. This is a local podcast. These are Syracuse fans. They love this blue and orange color. And this Apex Entertainment, I believe, might be like a casino or a sports bet. Maybe it's their like state indoor stadium. I don't know what this Apex is, but it seems like orange and blue Syracuse fans tend to conjugate around this area, and they're inserting themselves right in the middle. Like, here we are, we're where our fans are. We're going to talk about the thing we love, which is beating Pittsburgh. Yeah. It seems to be everybody's favorite thing. And why don't we get together and celebrate this love of the team?
Did we not just establish that Pittsburgh are Jagoffs?
Yeah. So what are Syracusians?
No comment, Your Honor.
So yeah, a great way to put your podcast in front of people, put your podcast where your fans are. When you make that connection, you're building stronger communities. You're just connecting with fans on a different level, and you get to meet them face to face when you do a live show. You get to see their faces, see if they like the jokes I made today. I would see if they were laughing in real time, not just leaving likes and hearts online. But we would know, hey, that was a good joke. Do more of those, or Revilla, stop doing those jokes.
That's it. You get you get to quarterback that conversation, and then the linebackers do they score it, and then the audience is there to audience stuff.
And then the Ronaldo goes goal.
Yep. And then Michael Jordan is there as well.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk, though, because they have to slam dunk the football over the upright, I think.
Yes, that's the only way of doing it, as I understand.
Hashtag Go Sports.
Yep, Sammy Sosa, that's my man.
Let's go from sports to Michelle Obama bringing the look to life live on stage. This comes to us from Penguin Random House. The former First Lady is taking style, storytelling, and self-expression center stage as Michelle Obama launches IMO, The Look, a 6-part podcast series from Higher Ground. It's premiering November 5th. A companion to her new book. Hold on a second. What am I saying here? Let's see. We're just going to start that over. How about that? The former First Lady is taking style, storytelling, and self-expression center stage as Michelle Obama launches IMO, The Look, a 6-part podcast series from Higher Ground premiering on November 5th. Companion to her new book, The Look, this series dives into how fashion became a language of confidence and representation, from the White House wardrobe to cultural influence worldwide. But the spotlight doesn't stop at the mic. Miss Obama will record 2 live podcast tapings, one in Brooklyn with Tracy Ellis Ross and another in Washington, D.C. with Wesley Morris. These conversations promise laughter, honesty, and a powerful reminder that being seen and showing up as yourself is a radical act. And what we're seeing, we've seen this with a couple times with people who are promoting books now through a series of live podcast events. We saw it with Scott Galloway. We see it with Michelle Obama this week. They're taking these tours on the road to support what looks like a book launch. And they're bringing their fans together. They're probably getting pre-orders for the book, maybe selling the book, maybe autographing the book, maybe having a VIP experience. And they're doing this more and more instead of just going on a morning talk show or the local radio station. People who are creating stuff are taking control of their environment and putting these events together to really meet and connect with their fans.
Same exact message as I believe 2 stories ago. It is one of the best ways to just simply chat about, this is the mission, whatever I'm about, in a way that just about anybody can relate to. It's just casual conversation.
Yeah, and to see somebody in person too. If Michelle's coming to your hometown and you get to go to a theater to see how she acts on stage, thinks in the moment, reacts with the crowd. You don't get that from a television interview, with Katie Couric. You don't.
No,
that's so scripted and staged. But to see somebody you admire in the moment is a connection on a whole different level.
Yeah.
We'll go to story number 6. Our last story today, totally booked live. The Holderness family lights up New York City. This one comes to us from Eventbrite. It was laughter, learning, and literally love in New York City as Penn and Kim Holderness joined Zibby Owens for a totally booked live podcast taping at Zibby's Bookshop Pop-Up. The viral video duo, known for their hilarious sketches and amazing race win, sat down to celebrate their new children's book, All You Can Be with ADHD, a joyful ode to creativity and thinking differently. Surrounded by fans, families, and fellow creators, the Holderness shared stories, read excerpts, and reminded everyone that neurodiversity isn't a flaw, it's a superpower. This wasn't just a podcast, it was a pep rally for the proud, curious, and endlessly creative minds. And we talk about, how do we incorporate this into small business, not just giant theaters and giant stadiums, but here's Zippy's Bookshop in New York City is having an event to bring people in. They're bringing authors in, and they're recording these sessions as their live podcast. So they're bringing book lovers to the store, they're recording, and then they're having this whole activity around the thing that people love. In this case, it's I don't know if people love ADHD, but they're reading books together on it. They have a passion for learning more about it and maybe how to manage it, how to deal, maybe finding some strategies. And in this case, it becomes a podcast for the bookstore and a promotion, another asset.
Yeah. Well, that's on the whole, I think I'm not a huge fan of social media, but because of the interconnectivity of the world today, I think we've realized how many people have, these neurodivergent cases, but, neurodivergence being a very broad umbrella, but ADHD especially too. It's like, all right, well, now we're writing, kids' books about it because there's a lot of kiddos that have this kind of thing and parents that need to figure out how to navigate parenting with that. So social has made possible for us to see, like, all right, maybe we're not the only ones in this situation. I think I would potentially put that as a very positive component amidst many other negatives. But.
Yeah, I mean, a way for parents to connect is sometimes a parent doesn't expect, any. Not that this is a problem, but there's a diagnosis that happened in their family, and maybe they don't know who to talk to. Events like this can bring parents together. Some of them who are helpful, some of them might be struggling with a diagnosis.
Get you some resources, some knowledge, anything.
Yeah, like Zibby's doing a community service with this event for sure. They've done other book meetups with other authors, but I really like this one, just the way to bring people together and to find some common ground. Ask those questions that you maybe your doctor doesn't know the answer to, and you can figure things out together as a community. And that's very powerful and a great testament to the importance of small business in your community.
Yep. Bravo, Zibbies. Y'all are on the cutting edge.
2 points.
Sports.
2-point conversion for Zibbies.
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't talk about Poduty shirts. I'm wearing one now. We got them in the theater for just $10, 4 colors, 5 sizes. Stop on down anytime I'm here if you can find me. We got upcoming shows. We've got the Pittsburgh Podcast Meetup. We live stream these now. It's from 6 to 9. If you're here in Pittsburgh, come in at 6 o'clock. I feed you chips and sandwiches and pizzas and drinks. Totally free. There's no charge for this. At 7 o'clock, we live stream 1 hour of the event where we're answering the most pressing podcast questions out there. So whether you're in the theater or whether you're watching at home, you can tune in and ask those questions directly to the stage. We will get you an answer that night, and then we'll cut the feed because you don't get to see everything if you're watching. And then we'll hang out for another hour and network and exchange information. And I've seen people get booked on each other's shows. It's a lot of fun. We've got Tamara. She's coming up next Saturday, November 8th, 2 Saturdays from now, November 8th. She set a goal for her season 1 ending. It's like a wrap-up party. She set a goal of 10 tickets. I think she's over 15 already. So she is well exceeding her own expectations. It's going to be a fun show. It's a season 1 wrap party, kind of a season 2 kickoff. November 8th, 6 p.m. That's the Nailed It Motherhood podcast. We've got the Tarentum Holiday Spectacular. The town that this theater is in is called Tarentum. We have a 2-day live stream festival coming up December 3rd and December 4th. We're going to bring in 24 Tarentum businesses. Every 10 minutes, we're going to flip them out. We're going to talk about who they are, what they do, how they serve the community, and how you can support them. It's completely free to the businesses. This is just to showcase Tarentum for 2 nights during the holiday season so that everybody in Tarentum finishes the year very strong. Check it out. All these at Poduty.com, Poduty.com. And then in 2026, the Humorous Podcast. Check that out. Tickets are available. It's so far away. I'm just putting it out there so that you're ready to come see it. They're coming in from like Vermont or New Hampshire. It's a traveling show. And of course, my special guest today, Kyle Asperger. Kyle, thank you so much for joining me. One last time, tell people how they can connect with you and reach out to you, use your services.
Well, Jeff, thank you again for having me, man. It was cool to, see and experience some of these, news shows, the content that you were looking to, highlight. Sounds like you have such a wonderfully community and touch ball centric focus, something about sports. But coming in again from Denver, Colorado, where I assume that we have a pretty good sports team, or 2 maybe. Marketing coach, actor, voice artist, and company's called Anarchy for a Day. Just again, anarchy, and I think it was, on the comedy podcast, means chaos. Anarchy, I think by dictionary definition, destroy everything, complete and utter chaos. In my world, anarchy is a tool to inspire innovation, to push the makers into their blue oceans. So use it, apply it with a bit of tact, and differentiate yourself so you stand out in whatever marketplace you're in, whichever room you're in. Become the most interesting individual.
Awesome. It's anarchyforaday.com, I believe is the website. Is that correct?
You got it.
I'll have all that in the show notes. Connect with Kyle, reach out to him, check his website. Let's go back to that theme song.
A toast to the thinkers, the dreamers, the pros, the stories we share, the world that grows. From London to New York, the voices collide. Ideas are the fuel and truth's our guide.
Jeff drops questions, Kyle brings flair. 2 storytellers with no time to spare. The laughter's real, the insight's deep. These moments are ours to keep.
What time is it? What time is it?
What time is it? It's time for
Poduty and the news. Poduty and the news. The only live news podcast about podcasting from the stage.
Oh man, I'm backstage again. We had some comments coming in. Wise, good morning to you. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah's out in Utah. She's in your time zone, I believe.
Right
And
around there.
of course, Brian Ortega is looking for guacamole and food. Oh, guacamole. I did have one last question for Kyle. Maybe you're not allowed to discuss this, but I've heard that the Illuminati is deep in with the Denver airport. Is that correct?
I am not at liberty to speak to that. Whoever invented the blue horse, talk to them.
The blue, I don't even know what that now.
It's called Lucifer. It is positively like it is a demonic introduction to say, well, boy, are we excited for you and your travels. Welcome to the Denver International Airport. Here's a terrifying blue horse with like eyes that are on fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was I was reading something about the Denver airport where like the internet, it can be a strange place.
So many conspiracies, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Instead of denying it, they like really leaned into it. That like
I think they had a campaign like advertising like, are we the airport or are we whatever?
We're lizard people.
Yeah, exactly.